Hello everyone. So today I'll try to explain some Swift UI concepts that confused me a lot in the beginning. Things like background, frame, blur, offset, clip shape and position also. Alright, let's start simple. I'm creating a Z stack and adding a blue background to it. But why is the color not visible? So the reason is actually very simple. Right now our Z stack is completely empty. And if a view has no content inside it, Swift UI usually give it a size of 0, which means our Z stack technically has no width and no height. And if a view itself has no size, then its background also has no area to draw on. Okay, fine. Let's just give it height and width. Uh, Width infinity and height also infinity. Still nothing. See, the important thing to understand is width and height expect actual fixed numeric values, but we are giving it infinity. For example, if we will give width 300 and height also 300, will this work? Yes, this makes perfect sense because 50 UI now knows the exact size. But infinity is not a real drawable number. If we want a view to occupy all available space, we use max width and max height. By writing this, we are not saying make the width and height infinite. We are saying take as much space as possible. Huge difference. So Swift UI simply expands the view to the maximum available area. Before moving forward, we just need to understand what ZStack actually does. In Swift UI, ZStack places view on top of each other, like layers. So now let's create a simple circle. We'll fill it with black color and also give it a frame so we can clearly understand what's happening visually. Sorry for the delay, I got confused. Width 350 and height also 350. And just to make things easier to see, let's add yellow background too. Right now, things look pretty normal. But now I want my circle to blur. For that, I will add opacity. I want my circle not blur to fade. I will add opacity. Opacity 0.5. Wait, I only wanted the circle to fade. Why is the yellow area getting affected too? In Swift UI, modifiers work step by step from top to bottom. So if opacity written after the background, SwiftUI treats the whole result as a single combined view, which means the black circle, the yellow background, both become part of the same final view. And then opacity get applied to everything. So the fix is simple. Apply opacity before adding the background. Now faded apply on the circle only. Now we will apply blur. After applying blur, have you noticed one thing? That the sharp circle edges disappeared because blur spreads pixel outwards. It softened the edges, so now instead of seeing perfect sharp circle, we see soft glowing cloud. Now we will apply offset. And the moment I added, the circle suddenly moved to the right side. At first, it felt like the entire view changed its position. But it's not the case. You see the blue outline here? The original frame is actually still in the same place. Only the drawing inside the frame moved. It's kind of sitting on a chair and sliding yourself to one side without moving the chair. You move. The chair is exactly where it was. SwiftUI shifted the entire rendered result horizontally, but internally, the original layout area is still where it was before. And this tiny detail becomes super important, especially when we combined offset with clip shape. As we applied clip shape, something strange happened. The view does not clean move right. Instead, the left side gets cut, the circle look partially cropped. If we comment offset, see what happened. Now the yellow circle become circular. The yellow color becomes circular because clip shape works on the final result, not in individual layers. At this point, clip shape circular says only show the parts that fit inside a circle. So Swift UI cuts everything outside the circular boundary, including the yellow rectangle also. That's why the rectangular yellow background suddenly became circular, not because the background changed. What Swift UI is acting doing? Swift UI is trying to do first it creates circle, fill black, apply opacity, blur it, put inside frame, apply yellow background, move drawing 100 points right, and clip final result into a circle. Now I'm using position and setting the circle to something like 190 to 190. And honestly, in the beginning, I used to think offset and position were basically the same thing. Both are moving the view, so what's the difference? But they actually works very differently. Think about offset like this. Offset does not change the view actual location in the layout system. It only visually shifts the drawing from its original position, almost like dragging a photo slightly left, right after placing it on a table. But position works differently. Position directly places the center of the view at the exact coordinate inside the parent container. It more absolute. So the easiest way to think about it, offset move relatively to the current position and the position place at exact coordinate. So for the clear view, we will comment the background, yellow background, for the final view. It is not looking as I want. So we will opacity set the opacity of 0.4, no, 0.3. We will set the opacity 0.3. And that's it for today. Small concept, but very important one. Next time, we'll continue exploring Swift UI step by step and slowly build something really beautiful together. See you in the next time.